Your visor came alive. It seems like you were the last protogen of that batch to do so. You look around for a few seconds as code starts slowing down your visor interface very quickly. It seems like you're in a small purple pod whose location is not really revealed to you yet. Before you can panic, a GPS app appears on your interface, very convenient. It was just a bit odd, but you just decide to click it anyway. And after a few seconds of loading, it showed that you were in a massive factory in the middle of Texas. The factory was used to make creatures like you, protogens. Fluffy little cyborgs that were 60% robotic and 40% biological. And after a few seconds of you interacting with your interface, the pod opened, finally revealing to you the massive factory that you were in. You could already see several fast-moving conveyor belts and machinery that kind of looked too much dangerous to get clutched. You slowly make your way out of the pod, your movement feeling very sluggish and clunky, probably because you spent too much time not moving. But don't worry, you get the hang of it soon. But for now, you must worry about more important stuff like finding the others and finding RAM to eat. And to be honest, I don't know why protogens like RAM, like isn't that part of their brain? So as you start walking through the factory, your robotic body kind of helps you not get easily bruised and scratched by the open machinery. The factory itself is kind of light. The only problem is the open machinery and the scraps on the floor. After a while of walking, you find a strange white door with a protogen sign on there. It says that you can hear voices coming from it, and also your pre-made code kind of says that's the fucking place to go. You enter the room and you're immediately met with a large line of protogens, which led to a truck. That truck's responsibility was getting your fluffy little protogenic ass onto your newly made protogen living block. So protogens are a bit different from robots on the type of services they do. Meanwhile, the regular robots are more hard labor and stuff like that, while protogens are more emotional support companions. So with that being your main function, you get a little bit more free will than regular robots. That won't totally spiral off control. So after a little bit of waiting on the line, you finally get into one of the trucks with 15 other different protogens. All of them look very similar to you. The only difference was the color. You try using your speakers for the first time ever to try to communicate with them. You were a bit successful. You spent the entire journey talking to them. The trip itself took a few hours, but after that, you finally arrived at massive headquarters, in your new living space. They hand your keys and you finally have a house. It's not really spacious or too luxurious, but at least it's rent-free. As long as your patients give a good rating on you, you're completely fine. So recharge your robotic body in your core cell, which is totally not going to be the reason of your death. And just a quick sign out, since this story doesn't pass too much in the future, there's no nanotechnology, so protogens don't eat regular food. Hope that finds you well, Genetic Purple Power. So after a good night's sleep, you finally get your first order ever. So it seems like someone got matched with your grumpy personality. So now they're emotional support companion for like a week. You wonder if he's going to be nice to you or not. You're quite literally a walking over Pi's computer. That would probably be too scared of touching you and breaking your arm. So yeah, your job is basically this. Every week you'll get contracted by some random person to help on their mental health and stuff. So after being on a shipping truck for like 30 minutes, you finally get to that guy's house. You walk into his doorstep and knock on the door, and it quickly gets opened by an average looking American guy. The only problem is that he looked very shy. He welcomes you into his house and you start chatting with him casually, trying to know him better and stuff like that. And after basically a week of doing that, he seemed a bit less shy. He actually was starting to get better because of it. So after his contract review finishes, he gives you a 5 out of 5 rating. This cycle will repeat, but with other people countless times. Ratings will usually vary into 3.9 to 5. Honestly, the most common rate for you over time was 5. Intelligence that started as a 20-year-old starts to grow insanely fast as time went on. You also make several protogens friends around your apartment. Life was good. Life was really good for like the first 60 years. Until the company that made you started to decline a lot. Material that they used to make the core cells of the protogen was starting to decline in availability a lot. With less protogens circling around, it means less revenue for the company. Less revenue to the company. They can't really pay for their apartments of the protogens. So over the years, they started slowly but surely numbing down the quality of their apartments of their complex. Since your apartment wasn't really at the top end, you kind of really didn't feel anything bad until your like 100-year anniversary. Then the company shut down. You are on the streets. So protogens of your model could live at most to 400 years. What is extreme maintenance? They can even go to 500 years. That calculation didn't account for crime. Because there was a lot in the city that you were in. See, my friend, you were in the early cyberpunk era. You were in the 2130s. There were a lot of opportunity, especially for robots like you, like Emmanuel. You get a decent job at a factory. You can earn yourself an apartment that kind of looked like your apartment. Okay, I got lazy enjoying apartments, okay. Work a bit more, you finally get your own mechanic. There was a small beat, not Ivy Comet. Ivy Comet is probably dead by then. The years starts piling up on you. You get to a 200, 300, 400, 500 birthday. Not like you only work in there. You explore this world. You draw, you paint, you do a lot of shit. But then
the world had changed in ways you could barely recognize. Cities had risen and fallen, and yet you were still here, walking through the neon-lit streets. The repair shop's bell jingled. Your mechanic, a small bee-like robot, gray-stained gloves, looked up from their workbench.
So it has been 500 years for you now, isn't it?
It wasn't surprising to you. You already knew that the other protogen of your model had long since rusted get out, and the key activated. Still, even the strongest needed maintenance. You set it onto the exclamation table as the mechanic get to work scanning your systems. It was routine. Until it wasn't. The mechanic's expression darkened as they tagged the monitor. That doesn't look good. What is it? You asked. Your core cell. It's extremely degraded, past the point of repair, and it can't be replaced. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. He had always known this day would come, but somehow, after surviving for so long, it felt surreal. How long? You finally asked. Days. Maybe weeks. You nodded, the weight of mortality pressing down on you. It was funny, really. After all this time, after all these centuries, you thought you'd be prepared for the end. But now that it was here, it felt too soon. You felt the shop in silence. Walking back to your apartment, memories served, friends long gone. Of wonder seen, you had done so much experienced. Much you weren't just some outdated machine. You had lived, and that was enough. Sitting by the window, watching the city hum, you allowed yourself one last thought. It was a good life.
So, thank you for watching this video, I guess. I tried to do more experimental videos over the last few months, so, if you like this video, comment down below, maybe. And let me just stop recording this shit because I hate editing.